Hi there, my name is Amélie Addison. I'm a Baroque cellist and one of the founder members of De Grazia, and it's a real privilege to be able to contribute something to our series of devotionals based around some of the sacred Baroque music that we perform when we're able to get out and perform. Bach's Passions are really amazing examples of musical rhetoric and theology combined in action. At the end of aria number 9, the superficial pastoral idyll that's being created is shattered as the continuo instruments strike a note, a diminished fourth, so a really painful and dark interval below the closing tonic of the aria. And this opens the scene where Peter's failure and denial are played out. The action cuts between the courtyard, where Peter's identity is repeatedly challenged and he repeatedly denies Jesus, and the interior of the judicial palace where Jesus himself is on trial. And the contrast when you read the account in the Gospel or when you listen to Bach's version of it, the contrast between Peter's inarticulate cowardice and the calm dignity and confidence of Jesus in the face of abuse and lies is really striking. In the midst of this scene, Bach interjects a chorale, so one of his hymn arrangements, and the opening line of that in German is "Wer hat dich so geschlagen?" Who struck you? And in the Gospel account, that question is asked by the guards, the soldiers, who are tormenting Jesus, beating him and mocking him. And in the text of the chorale, the believer acknowledges that his own sins, too numerous to count, have caused the suffering of Jesus. So this is the point to which every Christian believer comes, where you acknowledge that Jesus did nothing wrong. He didn't deserve to go to the cross. I'm the one whose wrongdoing has sent him to the cross. Bach then introduces the chorus into the action, and they represent the bystanders in the courtyard who are accusing and demanding an explanation of Peter. So as the crowd gathers round him, we hear these hissing, staccato, repeated cries of "Bist du nicht? Bist du nicht? Are you not one of his disciples?" And Bach switches that text jerkily between different voice parts and cycles through different remote keys with these jerky rhythms, and it vividly portrays the accusing, suspicious voices circling around the disciple and the pressure increasing all the time, until finally Peter's desperate denial just bursts out from the texture. And at this point is the incredibly poignant moment when Bach uses a cadence transfigured by a wonderfully evocative ascending broken seventh chord in the continuo cello part to represent the cockcrow. And this is the moment when Peter remembers what Jesus said and realizes how completely he's let Jesus down. And his reaction is to leave the courtyard and weep bitterly. And again, this is described with tortuous vocal melismas over the top of these dragging chromatic crotchets in the bass. And the music portrays so powerfully Peter's shame and despair and guilt at this moment.
Again Peter denied it, and at that moment the cock crowed. Then Peter remembered the words of Jesus, and he left and cried bitter tears and cried bitter tears.
There's a tenor aria which follows. Clearly this is a huge moment in the piece, and we need some time to process what's happened and to explore these emotions a bit further. And so Bach uses a dark key, F sharp minor, with jagged dotted rhythms and chromatic harmonies to express the despair of the sinner who realises how badly he's messed up and realises how entirely he deserves judgment. By making Peter's denial of Jesus the central event in part 1 of his St. John Passion, Bach sets up in the listener an awareness of both the inevitability and the gravity of what the Bible calls sin. Deep down, if we're honest, I think we all know that despite our best intentions, under pressure, we do break promises, we do tell lies, we do hurt people who love us. And the Bible is clear that when we do wrong in these ways, the offence is against God most of all, because he's the one who made us and he's the one who made those people who we've hurt. And it's also clear that there's no way that we can undo the wrong that we've done or even fully make amends for it. And so we need to be forgiven. We need a solution, and we can't provide it for ourselves. And I think what so powerfully comes across in the St. John Passion is that, yes, sin is desperately serious and we need a saviour, but there is hope. And already, even at this point, we can see that Jesus is going to be the solution. What we see of Jesus in part 1, his dignity, his calm, his care for others, even when he's rebuking his disciples, his concern for them is so clear. And even when he's talking to the people who were planning to kill him, his love and patience shine out so strongly. And already we're starting to get the hint that he is the solution to this fatal problem that we all face. And in part 2, Bach focuses everything towards Jesus' death on the cross to really spell out how, by dying the death of the criminal, Jesus, the Son of God, accomplished salvation for anyone who would trust in him.